before we get started, my man Jeremy from the Houston Texans, Chat Sports Texans, challenging me to a sub battle this week, and I said, bring it. Yeah, so look, we're doing a sub battle all the way till Saturday after the game is over. If you're not subscribed, do it now. We're going to do the numbers throughout the week. We got to whoop their butt because Lions are facing the Texans, and you know we had happen last time we faced them. Jake Bates with the field goal. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Lions and Texans preseason, what to look forward to, the times, just a little bit of what I expect, everything from there. We're going to go over to the latest Detroit Lions injury news. A lot of updates on the injury front. Good news. Yay. It's good to see that. Detroit Lions regressing article came out. We're going to go over that. I'm going to give you my thoughts with that. David Montgomery speaks on Jahmyr Gibbs. We're going to talk about Sonic and Knuckles right there. ESPN predicts the Detroit Lions. We'll get into that prediction in a second. Let's get to the Houston Texans here in Lions. Lions are facing the Texans Saturday, August 23. The game is at 1 p.m. Lions are favored to win this game by 1.5 points. Houston Texans are underdogs at 1.5. The total over and under is 35.5 right now. I wouldn't really take, when it comes to these numbers, I got to keep it a buck. It's so hard to bet on preseason games. I would just take the over on there. In regards to the total over and under, that's what I would do. It doesn't really matter favored. I probably wouldn't bet on that personally because it's hard to do in a preseason game. But before we keep going on, who wins Sunday? Give me your thoughts in the comments. D for Detroit, H for Houston. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. 5 things to be looking forward to in this game on Saturday. Rookie wide receivers. Now, this is the final preseason game, so there's just a handful of spots left that the coaches are looking at, and I would say rookie receivers in Lovett and Meeks would be 2 players that the Lions are watching very closely in this preseason game because they're so neck and neck, and then you got to think about Tim Patrick as well. Flags. Oh my goodness, flags has been horrible this preseason. Lions got to do a better job there reducing flags. I'm not going to blame everything I'm on in the last game. The referees were bad. But so far throughout preseason, as we know, the flags have been heavy. We got to reduce those flags. Hendon Hooker. He is literally on a lifeline right here. He's got to do something in this game or he is good as gone. He has shown absolutely nothing in preseason so far. Nothing. I think he's gone, but this is his very, very last chance. Special teams, I want to see it get better. We've had special teams issues in preseason so far from the Hall of Fame game until we face the Falcons. I'd like it to get better there. Injuries, no injuries on both teams preseason. You don't want that to happen. Let's get into the injury news. We got some good ones. Mekhi Wingo injured his knee last Thanksgiving, prematurely ending his rookie season. Beginning 2025 training camp on the PUP. In July, Lions coach Dan Campbell told the media that September return was most likely scenario for Wingo, and his return to play at this time gives him a shot to be ready for the regular season. Let's continue on. If Wingo follows the path Campbell suggested on Monday when Khalil Dorsey was activated from the PUP, the young defensive line will likely be worked into the individual group drills in the first few days of practice, steadily increasing towards full team play. Like with Dorsey, it would be surprising to see Wingo play against the Houston Texans this week. He'll likely be held out of joint practices in the Lions' final preseason game of the 2025 NFL season. He got activated. That's great news. Great. We lost Levi and Uzurike. We don't have Aleem McNeil. We've had injuries to Joshua Pascal. I know he's not a big name. He's not. He's not a huge contributor. He didn't do anything last year. I don't care about that. I am just happy we're starting to get players to come back from injury. That is the positive news. Wingo is one of those guys. We need depth all around on the defensive line. Depth. We lost Ahmed Hassanin. It looks like it's probably going to be the whole year. We need to have young players on this team to help out the rotation, to help out what we'll be dealing with throughout the NFL season, right? We got to have players there. So him being ready, even getting close to week 1 is great for depth. It's great for the Lions injury front. It's positive injury news, and so we got to talk about it, and that's great news. Again, I am facing Jeremy from Houston Texans. We're doing a sub battle. He said he's going to beat my arse. Kept talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he said so. So let's win this sub battle. Subscribe to the channel so we can show them that the Lions by Chat Sports is the best. Let's continue on with more injury news here. Miles Frazier still on the PUP list. Same with Lee McNeil, Joshua Pascal, and Malcolm Rodriguez. They're all getting close, though, and that's great news. So they're getting better and better and better. Not practicing, though, as of yesterday, Malik Taylor, Tristan Cullen, Broderick Martin, Ahmed Hassanin, as we know, it's going to be a while as he ripped his pec. Kirby Joseph, undisclosed. We don't know the severity of the issue in regarding Kirby Joseph, but it's not serious from, at least, if we were to heard something serious, you think it would have happened by now. So I'm not too concerned about that. The Lions are getting good news. It's starting to get better in regards to the injury front. We're starting to get a little bit healthier, and that's great. When these guys are fully back, it's going to help out the Lions roster immensely. And, as long as they don't get re-injured, those guys will be there for when we really need them, right? Definitely need them during the big-time games, and they should be there. Not maybe necessarily early in the season, but week 5 and on, starting to get a lot of these guys back. Barnwell and ESPN says the Detroit Lions are not going to regress too much, but they will regress. He said the Lions went 7-2 in one-score games, but again, they weren't reliant on narrow victories as the Chiefs, Barnwell wrote. Detroit needed a late field goal and avoid a loss to the Vikings and kick some more, and the time expired to break ties of Texans and Packers. But they also had a handful of one-score games that looked close only because of late touchdowns in garbage time by opposing offenses. He says Detroit's schedule will be tough, but that's nothing new for the Lions. They faced the league's 6th toughest state of the year ago, so moving up to the 2nd toughest schedule wouldn't be overwhelming. I love hearing it. And I do agree that their win-loss record is going to go down. I don't believe they're going to go 15-2. 11, 12 wins in that area, I think is absolutely possible and plausible for the Lions. I still think that we're one of the best teams in football, a top 5 team. The Lions' offense and defense is good. The coaching looks good so far. We're still a little bit mixed bag on offense, and we've seen some issues in special teams from preseason, but we know Dave Phipp has done phenomenal in the regular season, so I'm just hoping that will occur. Lions are a great team, and they should continue to show that they are a great team. Dave Montgomery loves his Jahmyr Gibbs, and he believes he's the best running back in the NFL. He says, it's evident or so it will not be the best running back in the league, Montgomery Field. It's no guess to it. The moment was my opportunity to let him know how much I loved him and cared for him as a person, because I know what that can do to people. And 2, I needed to understand that it's a small fish to show important how he's going to be to us. And we've seen people not be able to shake that stuff. We need Jahmyr. If I were to let him sit there as a rookie and fester on fumble, I wouldn't be letting him down as a teammate and a brother. I'm taking him against everybody. You know what I'm saying? I think ultimately for us, I know my mom used to tell me when I was to do that stuff over and not listen, She gets sick and tired of being sick, Montgomery explained. I know what kind of standards and expectations that we haven't met yet, and we know this city deserves it. We got blue-collar place here, and we're going to go through the trenches and always drug through the dirt, and their time is now and deserve it, and we're trying to do whatever to fulfill that dream. Calling him the best running back in football. David Montgomery showing love to Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think, you go up there with Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. I would take Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs because of his explosion. He's young, his age. He can do pass. He can do it all. So what do you guys think? Do you believe that Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back in football? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue on with Ryan Clark showing mad love to the Detroit Lions. Giving the Lions a lot of love. He says, wondering why we're sleeping on them like we took a meltdown and rubbed ourselves in lavender and drank chamomile tea. Clark proclaimed the Detroit Lions are a team that is poised to be right back where they were last year with the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. We're talking about 2 running backs that can absolutely get it done. He continued on, Jared Goff, who told me this week, is everything to the team, and Dan Campbell and I watched the practices precise be intense. We felt the urgency and feels like they're underachieving this year. Kelvin Sheppard told me taking over for Eric Glenn and one of the defensive side of the ball is coming after people. Not to mention, he has 12 dudes that are IR last year, and the players, they all lost. Amik Robertson in the first half playing against Washington Commanders, and they're back. And I agree. The Lions are a team to be reckoned with. You got to put the Philadelphia Eagles up there. You got to put the Vikings, right? The same teams, but the Lions are right there. And I keep saying the Lions are not a scrub team. They're not a trash team of any of that sort. They're still a really good football team. So I'm up there with Ryan Clark. I think they're a great team. I would not sleep on the Detroit Lions. To think that they're going to lose and be terrible and miss the playoffs doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So give me your thoughts in the comments below. With that said, folks, adios.